Hello, everyone. I'm back at it again. No podcast this time, but I hope you all are having a safe and good holiday season so far, even though the holidays haven't really hit yet. I just decided that it's been a couple weeks since I've posted a podcast, and even though new episodes are coming out, I decided that I wanted to do something a little different, maybe give you a little bit of bonus content this week, with something called Thought of the Week. It's something that I've been thinking about, and I think could be cool for me to share my perspective on various situations or various, thoughts or arguments that I'm coming out with. So basically what I'm going to do is put on my best Hassan Minhaj impression and basically explain to you where I'm coming from on specific things and stuff of that nature. And I would love if you guys would DM me or, email me or, basically clap back if you disagree with this viewpoint or agree, or, I would just love to hear your thoughts. So I'm going to get right into it. So this week, I want to talk about higher education. And even though I'm a college student myself, I think higher education is pretty fucking pointless. I think it's crazy that our whole lives, our parents want us to go to college, to get that good job, to get that good car, so that we have a chance to, be monetarily successful, right? Sorry, parents and education believers that are listening to this. I think you're wrong. But I do believe that there is slightly more nuance to the issue than just saying that higher education is pointless. And so let me break down where I'm coming from. I think if you want a specific career, right, that involves like researching in a lab or being a doctor or a lawyer, I think lawyer is debatable, but more on like the technical side of things, even engineering, I think higher education does provide some value to you, and you may need a degree or several degrees even to advance in this field. Shout out doctors, shout out med school and all the student loans that you have to put in. But anyway, besides that, I don't think that there's much that you can't learn online. The internet is such a vast place for information. I think that you can learn whatever you need to. I'll give you an example. I find it pretty fucking ridiculous that there's a marketing major. Like, I took a marketing class this last quarter, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, it was pretty useless. It's a lot of vocabulary and like writing about specific case studies and like what they could have done wrong here and there. And I learned most of what I think I needed to learn to be a quote unquote good marketer in like through this one class. I'm shocked that there's 4 years worth of curriculum in marketing. I'm shocked. I think it's such a ripoff. And I think a lot of the information that I could have even learned in this class could have been much more, like, I could have utilized Google more and maybe even learned more. You have marketing gurus like Gary Vaynerchuk and like Jason Capital and like Coursera, and that are literally free online resources that are there to help you and guide you along your marketing journey. So, I think higher education really just, I don't know how they can offer people a major in marketing without, ripping them off at least $100K. I think it's useless. Honestly, this like, you can learn this in one class, like I said, or you could just learn it online or through Google search. I think it's pointless. But I do believe that we all buy into the system. I think even for myself, like, I'm still either debating whether I want to be a business major or an econ major, and I realize how incredibly hypocritical that sounds. But I'll get into my personal choices later and why I'm doing things the way I'm doing things. I think colleges work a lot like banks. I think there has to be a relationship between universities and employers have to have some sort of trust within universities, just like consumers have to have some sort of trust in banks that their money is going to be safe. I think employers need to have trust in universities so that to basically have trust in universities that universities are teaching these children who are getting these majors the right skills to succeed in the workforce and within their company. But I think if companies start to, realize that experience maybe is worth more, or maybe a Google search or maybe something else is worth more than just higher education itself, I think you are going to start to see maybe a shift. And suddenly, if employers stop requiring university education, you're going to start to see a lot of people who don't want to go to college and who are going to want to just go out and get more experience so that they can just get jobs instead of wasting their money on a negating investment. I think college is, for a lot of the traditional jobs, is pretty useless. And I think employers will, start actually to look at projects and start to look at, your genuine understanding of content that you're going to be doing within the company, more so than anything else. And I think once that power balance shifts and companies start to look more for experience versus the university, or versus like the university you come from, I think you're going to start to see like a completely changing workforce, and I think university degrees become pointless. In addition, I think you're really starting to see a lot of companies actually do this and execute on this shift in power and, really shift towards more of content understanding rather than degrees. And I think you're starting to see this more so in tech. A lot of companies look at candidates with more experience in particular areas rather than a college degree. I mean, you're seeing this with coding. Like, you can learn a lot of the skills that you need to learn, not by going to college, but rather than taking Google coding courses or Coursera or learning on your own through YouTube, which is a beautiful resource. And I think now that, this relationship is shifting, you're starting to see the changes, at least on a small scale, because I still believe that in the larger scale of things, there hasn't really been a major shift in college education just yet. But I do believe that it could happen very soon, and it's going to happen over time. So COVID-19, right? It's shifted the world in so many ways, and it's really changed the way that we think and the way that we live, respectively. I think it's also dramatically changed the way that we all look at higher education. Pre-pandemic, you could have easily argued to me, but in huge, top 25 universities in the country have some of the best education, and the way they learn is cool, and the professors are dope. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. But now the pandemic hits and, bro, Harvard, Cal, San Jose State, they're all the same fucking school. Everyone's logging on to Zoom and hopping on a Zoom call. And most college students, whether you like it or not, don't give two shits. They're just looking at Facebook or, Instagram or Twitter or whatever the cool kids do these days. But that's what they're doing. The education is not the same. Being online versus being in a classroom is completely different. And it's something that I think will continue to be that way for a long time, because I don't believe that you can have lectures with 100+ individuals in a room for a long time until the vaccine is distributed to the masses, which I think the distribution process is going to take a minute. And the argument that Cal is better than San Jose State or Harvard is better than every one of these, Harvard is better than all public universities, is bullshit now. Because everyone's going to take the same Zoom classes. It doesn't matter the quality of your professor because they can't teach you in person. It's got to be through the online modality. And to be honest, let's be honest, professors aren't the most entertaining when they're looking through a Zoom call. And students aren't at their highest attention through a Zoom call either. Just being honest, just stating facts. So in terms of myself, I bet most of you are wondering, and you're in college, dude. Why are you being such a fucking hypocrite? And my answer to that is simple. My parents will literally kill me if I drop out of school. No, I'm just kidding. I think they would probably kill me, but I don't think it would be as bad as I described. I also do think the systemic relationship change between employers and universities is going to take a long time to implement. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm not going to quit school and tomorrow all universities are going to stop requiring college degrees. Unfortunately, we live in a society where change takes a long time to implement. And I still want to keep my options open in terms of jobs and don't want to limit myself to very specific things. So I'm going to have to, continue to have my negating investment by my side and go to college and, quote unquote learn, even though I could learn using Google search. But, just go to college, spend my time, get my degree. And so, I can get employed at the end of the day. But looking at the way that like Rona has changed the world, I don't think college is any exception to that rule. But like, that's really what I've been thinking about, is just what is the value of a college education, especially within this Corona society that we live in today. And honestly, I think higher education for a degree like myself, so like someone who wants to do business or econ or humanities or any of that shit, is fucking useless. And if you disagree with me, I would love to hear it. So send over your DMs and send over your hateful comments. Not hateful, but because all love here. But anyway, that's how I feel about that. And that was my thought. Let me know what you guys thought about this whole rant and about my points that I brought up. Email me at essentialquestion@gmail.com. DM me on Instagram at essentialquestionpodcast. I would love to hear your thoughts. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope lockdown hasn't gotten into your heads too much. And get ready, because there's going to be new episodes dropping within the next few weeks, and should be some really exciting content. So enjoy. Have an amazing day, and peace.